Hello, everyone. Hello. I know it's late, and it's technically past my bedtime. So I gotta make this quick. Hey Siri, turn lamp brightness to 70%.
Okay, I set the lamp to 70%.
Hey Siri, turn lamp brightness to 75%.
Okay, I set the lamp to 75%.
Okay, so last night I had a dream that there were some cards left abandoned at a neighbor's house across the street, and at the top of all the decks was the King of Swords. And I was telling Reem about it, and she was like, "You should pull some cards." And then I told Russ about it, and Russ said some stuff about the King of Swords, sort of being the well acclimated to air energy. And so, in one of the most prominent King of Swords cards, there was a King of Swords holding a sword, and he was looking at it. And then off to the side of the King of Swords, his shadow had come out, and his shadow was holding a book, and it was reading the book. So I feel like there is a little bit of an energy of Russell, I'm live.
Even when I go in the kitchen now to get the tea water, it might cut off. It's really rubbish. You gotta hold it.
Oh, it just it cut off. Oh wait, you're back. There you go.
I can sit down here for a minute and wait for it to boil.
Oh.
Where are you now? In the same room?
Yeah.
Oh God, it's a different angle.
I'm live. Oh, don't look at the mess.
I like seeing the shelf though, where you look up and go 126.
Oh, those? Oh wait, I
See,
think
that's nice.
this mess, yeah. 1 through 5 isn't here. But anyway, I'll have to call you back after this.
Okay, you're live. All right.
Yeah. All right. Bye. So there is something about the King of Swords in his light where he is, I almost want to say abstaining. Kizzy Cats! How have you been, Kizzy Cat? Isn't how late or early is it over there? How are you doing, Kizzy Cat? Hello. Hello, Kizzy Cat. Hello. So something about the King of Swords in his light is almost abstaining. And in his shadow, it's learning. I don't know. Who is this? Hey, EP. I was like, hey, there he is. The Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands has been a card that is coming out recently, more and more. So I'm using the Weaver Tarot, both editions. The dark one for the Shadow of the King of Swords, or it's the Ruler of Swords in this deck, and the light one for the light one. Oh, couldn't sleep. It's 4:26. I've been waking up at like odd hours of the night. Hey, well, hopefully I'm not here too long, so you're welcome. So in Shadow, there's a lot of cards. The Ten of Coins, the Seven of Cups, and the Star. Okay. So now I'm going to go looking for the ruler of swords and pull the cards before and after. That's the sovereign. Ace. I don't really know how to describe it. How are y'all doing tonight? I am doing... I did my benefits today. It was bittersweet. It's sweet because it's nice to have like insurance and stuff. It's bitter because it's coming out of my paycheck. But it's fine. Ooh. So the light of the ruler of swords is coming out with the 10 of cups and the conqueror of swords. Ten of cups, conqueror of swords. With the seeker of wands at the bottom. Hey, Starborn Ferg. How you doing? Ariel. Oh, hey, Ariel. How you doing? Hey, Holly. I'm nasally EP because the seasons have been changing. The air is getting dry, and I don't have a humidifier, so it just happens. And my sinuses have been bleh. So now I'm draining 5 inches of snow last night. What? It was raining like all day here. The Secret of Wands? It almost feels like this is an invitation-only event. And the Ruler of Cups is here. With the Death card under that, and Justice under Death, and the Hanged One under Justice. But we'll stop it with Death. I'm going to put this back in the box. You are contemplative. Ooh. That reminds me, my dad used to have a little board. It was like a little mood board on the refrigerator. And you can like move the magnet to show where you're feeling that day. So let's go looking. Oh, look, Death is at the bottom of the deck over here. With the High Sage. Death and the High Sage, Death and Justice. That's something. Okay, give me 1 second. What? There's the Ruler of Cups. Oh. Okay. One moment as I look with this. So the Magi, the Ruler of Swords, and the 5 of Coins is here. Bottom of the deck is the 3 of Wands. Real Vindhorny. Sorry. Give him some Vindhorn energy. You're in some weird MFing energy. I'm just here, you know. Grateful for all the high vibe people in your life and for feeling grounded, optimistic. But you worry about people around you that seem really defeated. Oh. I don't really know what to say about that. Yeah. And I feel like, too, the more people that see you navigate your way, the more it kind of sort of in some way maybe help them navigate theirs. I actually like this. I'm gonna do it this way though. So I ended up pulling it back from the bottom. So justice, death, death, high sage. So justice and the high sage are linked by these death energies, and it feels like these cancel out. And so we're left with the high sage and justice. I actually want to do it like this. I didn't pull the bottom of the deck. What? Give me that card. Give me that 3 of wands. And the 9 of cups is behind the 3 of wands. So there's an interesting energy over here. There's something, it feels like it's invitation only. And it's themed. It's themed as the ruler of cups. So the ruler of swords has to figure out how to be ruler of cups, which makes sense because that's this energy with the 10 of cups here. So the ruler of swords is in between the conqueror of swords and the 10 of cups. And so the energy of abstaining, it feels like the king of swords energy is learning to not be so cold or to not be so quick to sort of like cut things off. Because the king of swords has to be the ruler or the king of cups in order to accept this invitation. Now, this isn't necessarily easy for swords energy. That's why it's coming out under the 10 of wands. And so the king of swords masquerading as the king of cups this is a new it so the king of cups gives it an intuitive energy. And the king of swords is logical. So this is where they meet, which has been coming out. But this invitation, it might be like something in real life, right? And so maybe there's a certain element of like vulnerability or emotionality that needs to be present in order to make this work. And with this conqueror of swords, it's an energy where it's like not necessarily holding your tongue, but it's not being so quick to speak. Now on the other side, again, we had the 10 of coins, the 7 of cups, and the star that came out. And around the ruler of swords over here was the 5 of coins. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Oh no. Goodness. It's the Five of Coins and the Magi. The Magi is interesting. The Magi is a magician. And so there's an all elemented energy here. We already have the ruler of swords, who has to be this ruler of cups. The only energy I don't see here is fire. Oh, the Three of Wands is here. And there's something between the Five of Coins and the Ten of Coins. Here. Oh, goodness. What is this? Because there's this wand in the Ten of Coins. So this is a space of things wished for. Honestly, it kind of feels like the shadow of the King of Swords it wants to be accepted. Ten of Coins is feeling familial. And it feels like there's an energy of being like excluded from others. The Magi looks like a broken wind horn. Oh. And this one is at the bottom of the deck, the Three of Wands. There's a bridging temperance energy here. Oh gosh, okay, let's just do it. Gotta go looking for temperance. Look at this, 9966. What? How do we? Nine of Cups, Nine of Wands. Six of Wands, Six of Cups. Cups and Wands, Cups and Wands. See, that's that temperance energy. It's the water and the fire. Let me find it. That was we found the third ruler. Whoop, 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 whoop. That's exciting. So I went looking for temperance because in temperance you can see the water turn into fire. And it feels like that's what's happening, or that's what needs to happen to begin to complete this. Wait, that's a candle. The candle is the earth? I don't know. And see this up here? That's basically the nature card from yesterday or the day before. From the day before yesterday. Now, around temperance was the ruler of coins and the hanged one. So here's the ruler of coins. We have the third ruler that needs to be present. And I'm not surprised that the ruler of coins came out around temperance because that's what this energy feels like. It feels like the shadow of the King of Swords is in a Five of Pentacles trying to get to the 10. But the 10 is something received. This isn't something that's necessarily worked towards in a way. It's something that we heal into. We heal into the Ten of Pentacles by picking up the wisdom from the past. There are also things that, like with the thorns around the third eye there, and then with this here, it just feels like there are things that we can't see, things that we don't want to look at. And it's funny because the Hanged One is the next card at the bottom of the deck on the light side of the King of Swords. It was literally the next card. See, there's this energy where it's like the light side has something ready. It's like the dark side energy comes up and it's already at the bottom on the light side. Passionate emotions, wands and cups. The cup needs to melt the candle to unbind the magic. Magi. Oh, see? Let me try to get these in order. This was at the bottom. It's in the middle. This was here. So the Magi is coming out under the star. What card did I... Ruler of Swords. The Magi is coming out under the star. There's a dousing energy here. There's a dousing energy here, which is why Temperance is the energy. Ruler of Coins and the Hanged One. There's a moon on this cup. I've never seen that moon in my life. Now it feels like this is trying to replicate this. But something's missing here. Maybe that's the problem with this energy. Is that it's trying to replicate. And in trying to replicate, it's almost like it's in between. It's not quite either. It's not long enough in the middle to be this one. It doesn't have the horizontal to be this one. Ooh. Out of the ashes after the rain born anew. 3 decant energies. Why did I do this? I should have just went to sleep. I'm not saying on here past 11 though. So I got 13 minutes. Because in the dream, the light side was holding the sword. The shadow side was reading the book. And there is this energy where it's like when something, like through searching, basically reading this book, it leads me to a card that, again, like the light side already has at the bottom of the deck ready. Now, this energy is taking the earthen path, bridging to the ruler of coins. This energy is taking the water path, bridging to the ruler of cups. And I think I can see this being a trap of the shadow side of the King of Swords, because the shadow side of the King of Swords can be very overthinky. But this energy, it's about receiving. Like, you can't think your way to this. And I think that's also why this magi energy is stuck in between. Because the one ruler that isn't here yet, it's the ruler of wands. And what we have is the seeker of wands. So there is an energy. The ruler of wands feels like the most, I want to say, authentic of the rulers. When dragon meets rider, maybe? I have no clue. It feels like this energy, it feels like it's so concerned with something other that, see, that's the thing. This energy feels like it's really, I don't know if it's because of this Five of Pentacles energy, and what was the other one? The Magi. I don't know if it's because of this Five of Pentacles energy. See, there's a throwaway here. The shadow side of the ruler of swords, it throws these things away in favor of others. And with the ruler of wands in this deck, the thing about the ruler of wands, it has Ouroboros on it. And in this deck, especially for me, the Ouroboros reads as an energy of, it's like having your ego under control. So it's a full knowledge of the self. And that's what this energy is missing. And that's why it's in this hanged one status. That's why that star keeps dousing the cup, or it keeps dousing this. This feels like spirit is putting this out. It's not going to allow it to happen. That's why, so the shadow of the King of Swords is like reading and studying more and more and more, but it's not getting any closer. What deck is the giveaway in? The High Sage is here. And see, with the High Sage, we have two water energies. Look, there's no fire here. They both point downwards. Like, one of them should point up and give the Merkaba, right? To have all four elements. At most, this can account for two: water and earth. This is not. Justice is here. Here's the sword. Here's the wand. Those are the crescent moons. How many cards do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. I have 21 cards. And there are 21 majors outside of the Fool. Shamanic Oracle has the giveaway. Hey Siri, choose a random number between 1 and 21. Wherever you are. Where's my phone? Oh, here it is. Siri was so quiet earlier. Hey Siri, choose a random number between 1 and 21.
A random number between 1 and 21 is 12.
A random number between 1 and 21 is 12. Mirror number. Why not? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. The High Sage. Okay. With the Ruler of Swords and the Hanged One. At the cut. Or on the two ends of the deck. Yeah. This is a wall. 6 minutes until 11. Ooh. The High Sage is my... I mean, in this context, I'm not going to get the answer to what this is. But I can take a little sneak peek. Maybe. Let's cheat. I'm going to cheat. If they give me the paradox, I need a no card. What's a no card? Any card that starts with the letter N is going to be a no card. We're coming into Libra season, Starbornberg. So maybe. Okay. Can I get a card, please? No. Well, can I get a card? Thank you. Yeah. Paradox. So I did say if Paradox comes out, then I won't. This is my no card. So this is another no. Paradox and the High Sage. This is a no for a reason. No's for a reason are important. I saw the Triple Moon Goddess thingy earlier today on the back of someone's car. And then the Underworld is at the bottom of the deck. Can you see? Can you see? There you go. Underworld. So I guess that's it. No resolution. Because there's an energy. It's like whenever the shadow comes out with something, the light is already there. So Libra season after Thursday. My little cousin is a Libra. She's a September Libra. I think her birthday is the 25th. I think. Her mom is a Gemini. Her brother is a Aquarius, and her dad is a Taurus. They got that little Taurus in there with all that air energy. My grandma was an Aquarius, and my grandpa was Libra. Feb 14 and October 1. Nice. The 8 of coins came out. Bottom of the deck is the 6 of swords. No, that doesn't mean anything. Oh, it's time for me to go. What is this? So in the dream, the King of Swords was at like the top of every deck. And there was one of them that felt like super magical. There was the one that I remember where like he was holding the sword. He was like looking at the sword, and then his shadow was like reading the book. And I feel like they all had like, they were different, but they held very similar styles. You're Feb 14 too? Oh, snap, EP. I think I know somebody else who's Feb 14. Is that Bloomin' Rose? Is Bloomin' Rose Feb 14? She might be. Final message, please. So, there are some things that it's important for us to not know. It's important for us to discover. Because if we have any knowing, there's just an energy where it's like you don't know what you don't know. And so for you to be presented with something before you acquire the things that you need to acquire to know what you're going to do with it or how you're going to work with it, it can be detrimental. It can be very detrimental. Because it's almost like it gets us to twist and contort our paths in a way to get to a destination that we feel is for us. But again, it's like there's something to acquire along the way. It's like a missing piece. And without those pieces, it won't work. So it'll fall apart, essentially. Ah, well, look who decided to come back out. The Magi. Bottom of the deck is the 9 of Swords. Yeah, see. This is what would happen if we try to move forward in those ways. We'd get stuck. In some way, shape, form, or another. The High Priestess, she does us a great service sometimes. It's like whenever you're a kid and like adults are like, oh, you'll understand when you're older, right? And you're like, I want to know now. So you force yourself to grow up before you're really ready. And then you're like, no kid should have ever known that. And it's like, yeah, that's why we told you to wait until you were older. But, you know. Oh, the Pillar. You love Libra humor. What humor? I'm just playing. Your twins turned 21 on the 28th. Oh, snap. Russ is a Libra. What? October 1? I didn't know that. If I didn't watch all those videos last year when Russ was like, it's my day. And no one else's. Kizzy Cat's mother and daughter are Libras. Your daughter first, too. Oh, snap. And Tarot 1 is the Magician and 10 is the Wheel of Fortune. Oh. Oh my gosh, look what came out again. The Magi. Can you see? The Magi in a different deck. The Void, the Magi, Get Curious, and the Alchemist. So we have the Magi and the Alchemist, which is interesting. There's almost an energy where the Alchemist knows how to work with paradox, which is why the Shadow of the King of Swords needs to understand paradox first. That reminds me of the Ruler of Zones. Play is at the bottom of the deck. 10-20. She is very interesting. Seems to have the world revolve around her in a good way. She fascinates you. Oh, snap. One of my best friends is a Libra. Ow. He's in the UK right now. He's like, oh, now that you got a job, you can save up and come visit me. I'm like, okay. Or you could just sponsor my truth. Hello. His brother's like, when are you coming back to the UK? When are you coming back? When are you coming back? I'm like, as soon as I can get back. It's almost like there's a different set of rules. Oh, there we go. The Chariot with the Fool at the bottom of the deck. See, the light side of this is like it's ready to go. It's already ready. It's prepared. There's that Death again. Death and the Fool. If this is the mind, then the light side of the mind is on the right track, but the dark side of the mind isn't. I don't know. I could have done without this one. I'm like, wait. I know, Starborn Berg, it's very real, but it's like that, like, you can't handle the truth type of energy. You want to know the truth? You can't handle the truth. That's what I got. I don't know. It's 12:06. Russell, you let me go 6 minutes over. Hello? I'm like, what does this mean? I don't want to leave it like this. EP says I can handle the truth. All right, I guess I'm just going to go. I don't know what this was. Well, we're coming into air epoch, right? From an earth epoch, coming into the age of Aquarius from the age of Pisces. That was the water and the earth. We saw the ruler of cups coming from the age of Pisces. we saw the ruler of coins coming from the earth epoch. And it seems that the shadow of the ruler of swords is struggling more with coming out of the earth epoch than the light of the ruler of swords is transitioning out of the age of Pisces. It's almost like the outside, the light of the age of Aquarius and air energy has been known. Like people have been talking about it for a minute. But the dark side of it, or the unseen side of it, remains elusive in a way. And I think it's because of that paradoxical energy. It feels like there are certain ways that we think about certain things that disallow for things to come into being. And so it's almost like we have to wait until our minds have changed on those subjects, or we have to wait until we've attained a certain level of expansion before we can allow things to come in the ways that they will come. And they say that things take the path of least resistance. But it also feels like there are some things that don't have many paths that they can come through. And they're met with resistance on all of them. And so that it creates a holding energy. It's something that's bottlenecked by that which is unseen. Yeah. I didn't even think about that. So what's the ruler of wands doing? That's what I want to know. The ruler of wands, that's Sargon. I wanted to do Sargon from the feminine side, but that didn't happen. Yeah, that's what that feels like. It's the alchemist energy. It's interesting because it feels like a lot of times with the fire and ice of alchemy, there's an interesting there's an energy of almost nulling, of returning things to zero, returning things to the void. The magician creates the void. And so we have to get creative in creating something. It feels like instead of like neutralizing it in a way, it's like an energy of repurposing rather than scrapping it and starting it new. And see, there's this energy between the shadow and the light of the King of Swords where it feels like the shadow is directing and the light is doing the excision, it's doing the cutting. And it's been here like the whole time. I just don't know how to like explain it. But it feels surgical in a way. Ba, 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 ba. Ruler of Wands magma. When the magma hits the ocean, the gases will arise from the surface of the water. Mhm. Hey, Denise, no problem. And here I am. I went on too late. Oh, 12:12. I went on too late. Reem was like, you should go live. And I was like, yeah, let me wait until like Reem's asleep. The shadow of the King of Swords is directing right now. And it feels like the light won't cut without direction. So that's what I got. That's what I got. That's what I got. Bup. I don't think, and within the context of this, though, it doesn't necessarily feel held. Like it feels like we would be the shadow side. And so it's up to us to do all that paradoxy. Windhorn is to unbind or to unwind, right? What's Windhorn, Russ? To unwind or unwound. And then it's like, it almost feels Sagittarian, like an archer or something, where you set up the mark and someone else fires. Maybe not unbind. Because the only thing the shadow was holding was the book. And it feels like we're not in the position of the light. I don't know. Maybe. Potentially. I mean, we take it as we need to for all of us individually, right? Take it as it resonates. If Siri says tails, I'll end this. Hey Siri, flip a coin.
Heads.
Heads. Okay. Because something still feels unresolved. But I ain't trying to be up all night. It is something like instructions. It's like when you don't want to hold the wrong end of the sword. He's like, they can't even tell one end of the sword from another. You got pages out there trying to be knights, and then they never make it home. Oh gosh. And then you're like, did y'all even like complete like the basic training? Because y'all here holding swords by the blade and whacking people with the hilt. Like, hello? Hello? Who trained you? Who released you? Who gave you permission to be here? And it's like, no one did, sir. I'm just eager to help. And it's like, okay, well, you're a liability. If Siri says heads, I'll pick another deck. Hey Siri, flip a coin.
It's heads this time.
Okay. I saw on I was watching a reel, I think, on Instagram, and this dude said something to his wife, and his wife was like, is your butt jealous of all the crap that comes out of your mouth or something like that? That was funny. Hey Siri, choose a random number between, hold up, wait, never mind, I gotta count. Don't listen. So it's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Hey Siri, choose a random number between 1 and 27.
A random number between 1 and 27 is 1.
Is 1. Ooh. The one deck I wouldn't count on helping me. But I'm talking about a dream, so why not the mystical dream, right? Oh, I wasn't supposed to be up this late, but it's fine. I wasn't supposed to be up this late, but it's fine. But it's fine. But it's fine. But it's fine. Oh, it did pick one again. It's the Night of the Magi. There was the King of Swords that was doing the magic stuff. And in the dream, the alchemist! The alchemist! Dude. In the dream, there were a lot of books about alchemy on the bookshelf. I was like, I didn't know my neighbor was an alchemist. Hello, wait. She got cards, alchemy. What else was she doing over here? Yeah, see, I was like real young when she was there. All that stuff with a whoop right over my head. Hey, speaking of ones and tens, the bottom of the deck is the Ouroboros. The Ouroboros. That's the thing that's on the ruler of wands. The thing that makes the ruler of wands the ruler of wands that the ruler of swords was nowhere near. And it's this energy again. It's this. It's refusing this because of this. Or refusing this because of this. There's something that's being like refused or not looked at or something like that. Not considered or ignored. And it's like that's the one thing that I have no clue. All I know is when we would get locked out the house because we forgot our key, we'd go over to her house until our parents came home. The Ouroboros, the wheel of all being, represents the eternal nature of being, unending and everlasting. Blah 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 blah. Okay, didn't think so. I feel like this is just saying it's an energy. It's something that won't be found without. It can only be found within. And again, that's the thing of the King of Wands, the ruler of Wands, that the ruler of Swords was missing. The ruler of Swords was so without that it just wasn't there. And there's no other way to say it. Like, I feel like it's exactly the same thing. I already said this. Sometimes we need confirmation, though. You know what I mean? Many paths lead many places, but some can only be reached in like singular ways, or not many. Oh, this is what I get. Okay. So, this is where I end this video. I extended this an extra like 10 minutes for no reason. 20 minutes. It's not something that this. I would say it's not something that this space permits and allows. I know a card just flipped over. Oh, I need some water. Oh, here it is. The Lord of Pentacles. Yeah, see? The Lord of Pentacles, with his flame of truth, he parts the veil. The veil responds to him. And because of him, it parts around him. And again, it's that energy where we need to hold our own flame in order to accept that invitation that's extended at the seeker. And we need to know ourselves in light and dark, in all elements and modalities. That's the thing about the Ouroboros, that the shadow of the ruler of swords is just missing. And the bottom of the deck is the Ten of Swords. It's because we typically have an energy of avoiding things like this, but these are the very winds of change that take us even further. Oh, look, there's a Hierophant. Yep. This card used to come out all the time when I first got this deck. Excuse me. Good night, Holly. Excuse me. Oh, look. You asked if my neighbor was the high priestess. On the top of the other half of the deck was the priestess of dreams. The priestess of dreams? Maybe she was. Maybe my current neighbor is a high priestess. Because as I was walking away, I was like, wait, that house isn't empty anymore. Someone lives here. But she don't speak English. She doesn't speak English, so I don't know. Maybe if she speaks tarot, I can talk to her with cards. I don't know. I don't know. Excuse me. She speaks astral. I wonder if she knew she was pinging me across the street. She's like, I've seen you occasionally. I've seen you sit on the porch until a bee flies by and then you go inside. I wonder if she saw me that one day the fly accosted me. I also have these. I left these out, so I'll pull one. Why not? One additional magical enchanted oracle card. It is bedtime. Excuse me. I've been working over. I'm a flex. I keep talking about flexing that half hour, but I just keep working longer. Oh, and I might have to do water tomorrow. We'll do Thursday. It's already the middle of the week. It's crazy. Okay. Enchanted Map Oracle. One card, please. For the lovely little Patrick, sitting in his room on a Tuesday night, trying to get some Clydence. Oh, is this a card I've seen before? No, I've not seen this card yet. Moonlight. I need you, starlight. I don't know the song. You're my moonlight. I need you all night. Come on, dance with me. Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, and then the other card that flipped over is Heal the Ouch. Moonlight and Heal the Ouch. Bottom of the deck is the Gentle Gardener. Oh, it is. Oh, look at the raccoon with this cute little nurse cat. This reminds me of the Seven of Swords in the Wild Unknown Tarot. And the Seven of Swords in the Wild Unknown Tarot for me is a card of birthright. But it's also a card of that which will remain hidden until we come into a space of not necessarily deserving it, but it remains hidden for good reason. And maybe that goes back to the things that we aren't open to in whatever way. So I told my mom it's a full moon in Pisces yesterday. One of my friends works at a place I went to get some lunch. And I was like, how have you been? He was like, I randomly feel like breaking down and crying for no reason. And then I went out into the car and I was like, if that was one of my other friends, I would have been like, yeah, it's the full moon in Pisces. And she was like, what does that mean? And I explained it to her. So, oh snap. Was this my warning message to go to bed? Yep, it is. All right. Well, I will talk to you all later. Hopefully you got something out of that. If there's nothing else that you got out of that, then it is not for me to say. So it is what it is. It's just like, it's this energy or that energy. It's like you're trying to build a fire and it gets put out. You're trying to go somewhere and you get cut off, pushed back. It's like, instead of go directly to jail, don't pass go, do not collect $200. It's just like back to start, back to start, back to start, back to start, back to start. Try again, try again. Maybe not. But I can imagine how it would be frustrating. No problem. Excuse me. I will catch you all. I hope you all have a good whatever whenever you see this. I hope you're acting in alignment to make all that you wish to experience your reality. And in whatever way a change is happening, I hope you have the courage to face it and see it through. Because it feels like there are some things that there's less and less and less room to go around, or over, or under, or to like through, where you're not really through, you're just through. You know what I mean? I don't know. Take it as it resonates. Don't listen if it isn't for you, right? That was interesting. Okay. Bye bye. It's bedtime.